Alrighty, folks. World War II in the Americas, Mexico, and the diplomatic impact of World War II in Mexico. Now, Mexico's role during World War II was primarily to produce strategic goods, particularly when it comes to industry and mining. Mexico was producing large quantities of zinc, copper, graphite, cadmium, and mercury, all individual things that are used to make weapons, which, in a time of war, are very, very important. Additionally, there's going to be price controls created by Mexico as a way of preventing inflation, because if you increase inflation, it's going to be problematic. It's going to be hard for Mexico to make any money. It's going to be hard for these workers to make any money. So they're going to create these price controls to make sure that prices are staying fair, so that they can continue to produce these products that are incredibly important and influential when it comes to making weapons for the war effort. Now, President Camacho is going to equate good citizenship with worker productivity. So, if you are a good citizen, you will work hard, because industrialization is going to be the key to victory. If we are going to win this war and we're going to come out on top and defeat Hitler, we need to work hard. So if you're a good citizen and you love Mexico, you are going to be productive and you're going to work hard. Okay, we're also going to get the Bracero program, which is going to encourage Mexicans to immigrate to the United States for work. We talked about this a little bit earlier on, before we got the Zoot Suit riots and stuff like that. They're going to be incredibly important, and they're going to be working primarily on farms to do a lot of the food and agricultural work that is needed in the United States at this time. They're going to expand to other programs and other jobs after this program as well, though, because they're going to see how successful the farm program was. So if it was so successful in farming and agriculture, it might as well work on something else. So they're going to expand this program after the success on the farm. Now, it is important to understand that this program was going to be controversial in Mexico, primarily because it's going to lead to a shortage of workers. There are not as many people in Mexico who are able to work because they're moving to the United States, where they can make a little bit more money, have a better quality of life, so therefore they're going to be leaving Mexico. So a lot of Mexicans are upset because there is a worker shortage in Mexico. Additionally, wages are going to be lower in Mexico because they're going to demand higher salaries. They can make more money in the United States, so it's like, I'm going to go to the U.S., if you don't pay me this amount of money. Some people cannot afford to pay them this amount of money, so that's going to be problematic as well. So do understand that this program, although very effective when it came to helping the United States and really helping Mexico as well, it was going to be controversial. Additionally, the Catholic Church is going to be impacted by this program and going to come out in opposition to this program for a number of reasons. Number one is, historically speaking, in the 1910s and 20s and 30s, there was an anti-clerical government in Mexico which had cracked down on the Catholic Church. Okay, Mexico is a very Catholic country. They're going to come and crack down on the church heavily. So they're going to be a lot of tension. There's going to be a lot of tension between the Catholic Church and the Mexican government in general at this time period. Number two, they're going to oppose the program because they fear that it's going to break family ties, that you're going to have the men moving up to the United States to work. Meanwhile, the women are going to be back at home with their children, and that these traditional families are not going to be there anymore. So they're going to really be opposed to the program for that. Also, it's going to weaken loyalty to the church because you're more concerned with the government and making money that way versus your loyalty to your religion. So the Catholic Church is going to be impacted and come out really in opposition to this program for the most part. Now, workers, on the other hand, were happy to join the program because they're going to get more money and they're going to have a better quality of life, which if you're a worker, those are the two things that you really, really want. 300,000 Mexicans are ultimately going to join the program because better life, and you make more money. Then we're going to get this bank right through here, okay, the NAFINSA. I'm not going to try that in Spanish because I do not speak very good Spanish. Going on. It's going to be established in 1934. The government's going to own this bank, and this is going to be a national bank for Mexico, which is going to give loans to industries to keep them afloat during the war because they don't have money coming in. They're having a number of issues, as we've already talked about, a labor shortage, required to pay their workers more because they're demanding more. They got to find some way of keeping afloat. This bank is going to make sure they're going to stay afloat if there is something that's important to the war effort, which most of the places in Mexico at this time were. There's also going to be a tax exemption which is created, which is done to establish a new manufacturing export sector. So if you're going to be exporting goods, you're going to get a tax break, which means you're not going to be paying as much money, which means you can make more money and you're selling goods. So it's going to help Mexico really grow and develop economically speaking as well. Mexico is going to be hesitant to accept foreign funds initially. That's going to change in 1944. Why is it changing? Because they really need the money. They didn't want to accept the money, kind of like, hey, I don't want to be beholden to someone else. If I take their money, I'm kind of have to do what they want. That's going to change the 144 because, as I've stated, they're going to need that money. We're going to get the Confederación de Trabajadores de Mexico, which is going to be or the CTMK. They're going to support voluntary temporary immigration and industrial expansion. So we're going to help Mexico expand in industry. We're going to support people who are moving to a different place to go and work. And if we create jobs that can help people rise out of poverty. So we're going to help do this because it's going to be good for Mexico. It's going to help Mexico develop, and it's going to help these people not be poor. National income is going to triple during the war, which is very good for anyone living in Mexico. Industrial capitalism is ultimately going to come in and is going to help Mexico prosper. It's going to be good though, because it's going to help Mexico really grow. However, the problem with this is it's going to fail to look at the poorest in society. So those who are the poorest of the poor were struggling before the war, and they're ultimately going to be struggling after the war as well. Comments, question, put it down below. Otherwise, see you later. Good luck.